So yesterday we had created a list view rule in some data class which is having some records. So this is the list view which we created. See, list view, if you observe, see, uh, in our class, in this particular class, the first name, date of birth and policy end date only, the um, exposed properties. Exposed properties are first name, policy number, sorry, date of birth and policy end date. How I can able to see, like in the warning also, if you observe, you have a warning like properties other than those three are unexposed properties. It is showing in the warning, or else you can see in the criteria the properties which Pega is showing you, the properties which Pega is showing you, all those are exposed. Only the properties exposed will be, it will be showing in you the criteria. Otherwise, it will not show you. So even seeing that also you can know. Okay. So even if it is not an exposed property also, you can retrieve the list. We can retrieve the data from the block. But whereas other reports like report definition and summary view, the property should be in an exposed column, even if it is not mentioned in the criteria. Like see, when I run this report, I'm able to get all the details and first name, last name, and all these are detailed data, right? You don't have group by options or other things in list view rule. It will get you the detailed data only. Okay. See last name and policy number. These are not exposed properties. Even those are not exposed properties. You can get the data in list view. But whereas in summary view, those should be exposed even to get the data. So only if the property is one of the criteria in the list view rule, then it should be exposed. See, if you want to have a condition and policy start date, then that property should be exposed. Then only you can able to see here. So now, as of now, I'm not having any criteria here. Same like in Nobria browse, how do you are measuring criteria? The same options you will be having here. Okay, and when you run this report, the default activity which will run is get content activity. This when you run this report, this activity will be called automatically, and based on the configuration in the list view which you configured in the list view, it will get the data. This activity will get the data. This is an out of the box activity. Get content. Get content is the out of the box activity. They are this is Pega's logic. They are writing some Java logic. There, based on this Java logic, they are getting the data and displaying you. Okay, and in organize tab, the paging options and everything you have in organize tab, and the export to Excel. If you want to enable the end user to edit in the sense add rows, delete rows. If you want to enable them, you can just click on export to Excel, check this checkbox, edit, and here give all the permissions to add, update, delete. If you don't want to give the permission to add or delete, you can just uncheck them. Okay, and in a list view, joins also possible. So here you might be having the data in two tables to show that has to be shown. Like now we have all the data in single table itself, single class itself, like customer detail class itself. But in real time, you might be having the data to be shown uh, would be in two tables, like two classes would be in two classes. You have to join those two classes and get the data and display it in the list view. So list view supports joins as well. So based on the class, you can join those two classes and get the data. So that also possible, and the type of join list view supports is inner join only. So in on the summary view rule and list view rule supports only inner join, but whereas report definition supports inner and outer join. That's a basic difference between the report definition and the other list view and summary view rules. So this is how a list view rule will work. Just click on run. So it will get the detailed data. So a list view rule can be referred in the UI as well, and even in the activity also. In activity, you can call this list view rule using obj list view method. Obj hyphen list hyphen view method, and you can call this. Let me show you in the UI also. You can call this list view rule. If you are going to embed this in the UI, you have to check this checkbox, embedded. Then only you can able to show it in the UI. Just click on save. I'm just going to some section. Just you have a control. Label. You have a control list view. Okay. I'll just drop a cell, or else here I will have the list view is a control. Just select it. You can call a list view rule in the UI. Just go click on the magnifying glass. Provide the class name where that list view exists. Just click the down arrow. It will show you. See here the list view which we created exists. And this is the list view which I am going to show in the UI. And click on OK. And save it. The same thing you can show it in the Just run the flow. See, it is showing all the data in the UI. The list view just referred in the flow in the UI. So even the thing, this is nothing but this is work list, right? Everyone knows this, right? A work list is nothing but it will have the work objects which are assigned to a single operator. So this is also a list view. Behind this also, you are able to see this work list because of a list view rule. It is a detailed data. It is showing you the assignments which are assigned to you. So a default rule is there behind it to show this work list, all the work objects to you. That is nothing but work list embed. See work list embed. This is the rule behind the work list. See here you are able to see urgency and the ID and subject, status, instructions. See, this is the rule behind this work list. So a list view will get the detailed data like this only, like the work object information is being loaded using a list view. But whereas a summary view is a summary data, summarized data it will show you based on the group by properties and other options. So this is an out of the box rule which is created. This will be there when you install Pega itself. This rule will be there. So if you want to, if the users, if the end users, like if the clients uh, requirement is to not show the urgency, or else not to show the ID, or else not to show the subject, you can just go to this list view rule, check out it, and remove the. I'm just removing it, save it. Just go to the. See, you are not able to see the subject because I removed it. So if the client based on the client requirement, save as this rule into your rule set, application rule set, and make the changes. You can make the changes. Okay. And you can call a list view rule in a activity as well using OBL list view method. I'm just checking out of the existing activity just to show you how can we call OBL uh, list view method. Expand the method. Here you have to pass the list view rule which you are going to call. Uh, just 2 minutes, please. Just 2 minutes. I will join again. I will come again.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Here you have to provide the class where the list view exists. See here, just click the drop down, you will be able to see all the classes which are in our application. Just provide the class where the list view rule exists. And list view, provide the list view rule, customer details. Click on save. Even owner. While you creating the list view rule, you will be providing the owner. Even this also you have to pass. Generally, the value for the owner for all the rules or all the reports you will have as all. So based on the rules and prerequisites, you are not able to call this. Yeah.
Is it mandatory to give us all for owner, or we can give any
No, it's
anything as per our?
Yes, of course, it is mandatory to give all. Okay. Yeah. So if you are having any doubt while creating the rule or anything, so you can just click on the help. So just I'm just trying to create a new rule. If you're having any doubts, just click on help. See here it will show you. Enter purpose identified list view rule. That is purpose. See, by convention, enter the keyword all as the initial owner of the list view rule. Using the customize this view facility, appropriate authorized users can later create personal copies of the and all rule. So generally, it would be can be an operator ID name as well. If you want to restrict to some single operator, then you can mention the owner name as some operator ID name. Generally, it would be all, because you will not be creating for a single operator. You will be giving access to all the users. If you want to restrict them, you can restrict by mentioning a operator ID. So this is how you can call a list view rule in an activity using OBJ list view method. Okay. And let's see summary view. I'm just opening the existing summary view rule. To create it, actually you should have the perfect data. We don't have that, so that I'm showing you the same thing. You can create a, you have more data in your application, you can create a summary view like this. See, this is an existing age by SNE top. It's an existing summary view rule. So in summary view, like list view, you will be having the criteria. Let me show you. Let me compare those two things, and you'll be able to understand easily. See, this is list view rule. So in content tab, you have the criteria. Based on this, if you want to have any condition, like where clause or anything, if you want to have any condition, you can have here. So same like that, you have in the summary view rule as well. Summary view rule as well. And other than that, you have other options like group by options. That is not available in list view. Even in the content tab, that group by option is not available. But whereas in summary view, you will be having group by option. So based by grouping the operator here, they are showing the data, and the display fields are these things. All these are display fields. Okay, and you can drill down to the list view rule. On click of the any record, you can drill down to the list view rule. Yeah, so you can drill down to the, when you just click on the when you just click on a row, you can drill down to the detailed report. Using this drill down options, you can on click of just a single row or anything, you can drill down to the detailed report. And same like that in organized tab, you can have export to Excel options, and all these options in same like in list view as well. See, you have export to Excel options, and enabling the end user to edit the Excel. Like that, you have options in this chart, this summary view as well. The extra tab you have in summary view is chart. See here, you can develop the report like a pie chart. Just click on, when you check this checkbox only, that those will be available. Just check this checkbox, then only those will be available. Just click on configure iterative charts. So here you can select what type of report you want to generate: pie, bar, column, area, line, gauge. These types of charts are available. Bar, pie, like this. So there were so many out of the box like charts available here. So you can select the data based on which you want to show this here, and the granular level like show grid lines, and the multiple options were available. And even the text you want to, if you want to change, if you want to show it in italic, bold, regular, and bold italic, you can choose the option here. And the chart size, if you want to show it in large, medium, small, custom size, in the sense you will be, it will ask you to provide the size, but whereas in large it will defaultly set some size actually. Okay, and you will have the color options as well. What are the colors which you want to show for that report? You will have all these options in configure charts, in configure iterative charts button. So if you want to show it as an image or iterative chart report, you can select. If you want to show the chart and data as well, both the things, select chart and data. If you just want to show chart only, just select chart only. Just run this report, you will be able to see the same like list view. It is also summary view also supports inner join only, not the outer join. See, based on the operator, how much work has they are completing, it is showing. See, CM developer, uh, for him this many work objects has been created. Still, these are in pending status. These are even these past the deadline as well. SLA. These many work objects pass the deadline. 35.6%. Nothing but 26 work objects pass the deadline, and 73% total 73 are which has passed the goal time, and all these are within goal. These many work objects are within goal, and it is showing the data as well here. If you just click on here, you will drill down to the detail view like this. Okay, so this is how a summary view rule would be, and you can call this in the UI using a chart control. Using a chart control, you can use this in the UI. I'm just opening an existing section. Let me show you. See here itself, I will have that. Chart is a control to call LSP in the UI. See here the class where that list view exists, you have to pass. I am calling an existing list view. Click on OK. Just click on save. Just launch the UI. You will be able to see that pie chart report there. See, it is showing me the report here. So even the summary view also you can call in a activity. So generally we didn't cover these two methods in activity. Like we have two methods to call an activity. From an activity you can call another activity as well. Okay. So from an activity you can call another activity using these methods: call and branch. Call and branch. Using call method and branch method, you can call another activity from a activity. Suppose you can call activity B from activity A. So generally in real time you will be having uh, so, so many times you will be doing like this, because some logic may be generic, like some logic may be generic that can be used. See, suppose I have an activity which is having 30 steps or 40 steps. I have an activity. So in that 15 steps or 10 steps are common for multiple activities. So rather than having those 15 steps in every activity, you just create a generic activity for that 15 steps and refer. You can call that activity in all those 5 activities. Nothing but for reusability, they have provided these two, call and branch. So, and another reason is one of the Pega guardrail is an activity should not contain more than 30 steps. I think 30 steps. So you can, using call or branch, you can decrease the steps in the activity. Like you can decrease the steps if you can create a child activity for 5 steps. You can call that activity here. So let's see. I'm just want to show you how can we call another activity from one activity. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if I want to show an organization structure, for
Mm.
example, parent-child relation thing, can I show that in list view or summary view? Parent-children
Yeah,
organization chart here.
that would be the summary view.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally you will be having for that as well. You will be having a out of the box tool. Try to find out it. If you are not able to find it out, just create the summary view.
Okay.
Yeah. So using call and branch methods, you can call an activity from another activity. So what is the basic difference? Both will call the activity. Uh, both methods you can use to call an activity. See, I'll tell you the difference between call and branch now. See, this is an activity, existing activity, or else I'll open some other customer details. I'll just add some method here. See, call in this activity we have so many in this class. We have other activities as well. Browse info, go to security, now start. This is checked. Get customer details. It is in which version? 1.1.2. So from this activity you can call this activity as well. Because these two are of same classes. Just click on save. I'm just calling this activity from get customer details activity. I'm calling browse loan info activity. System has struck. Yeah. Okay. So see this obj browse method we have here. The same thing we have in the this class as well. This activity as well. Okay. So rather than having multiple steps in the obj browse method, this obj browse method may be called, maybe you have to use the same step in multiple activities. Generally not for the single step. You will not be creating a stub activity and call that. Generally you will be having multiple reusable steps. Those might be used in multiple classes, multiple activities. For those scenarios you will create a stub activity like uh, a child activity, and that activity you will refer it in multiple activities using call or branch method. So call in the sense, see, suppose I'm calling this activity from get customer details. So after execution of this called activity, after execution of this browse loan info, it will come back to the calling activity. Here get customer details is the calling activity and browse loan info is the call activity. So when you call an activity using call method, after execution of the called activity, here after execution of browse loan info, it will come back to the calling activity and it will execute the next steps. If you have any steps next, like 5, 6, 7, 8, like that, it will come back to the calling activity and it will proceed with the next steps. But whereas branch, if you are calling a activity using a branch method, it will execute, Pega will execute the called activity, browse loan info, and it will not come back and execute the other steps in the activity. It will not execute the 5, 6, 7, 8, and if you have any other steps after that, this branch step, if you have any other steps after this, it will not execute. That is the difference between call and branch. Okay. So you can call a list view. So you can call a summary view. You have activity in the activity we have a default activity to call the summary view, but directly to call the list view you have a method, but to call a summary view you don't have any method directly. You have a existing default activity, using that you can call a summary view. That is nothing but show view. is the activity using, you have to call, it's an existing activity, and you have to provide that rule type prefix like this, reports. You are planning to call it summary view, right? Just click on the rule, click to open the class form summary view, just select it, just copy it. Here you have to pass the parameters actually. Show view. Instance not found. Yeah, just delete it. This is yeah, no hyphen. So this is the default activity to call a summary view rule. To call a summary view rule, just expand the method. Here you have to pass the parameters. See the summary view rule name and where it exists and the owner and all these things you have to provide that. And using this default activity, you can call a summary view rule in the activity. We are just calling the default activity, show view. Okay. Now it will validate you to enter the default parameters. You have to pass the parameter like view class in the sense where the summary view exists, and view purpose the summary view name and the owner and everything you have to pass. And same like list view, summary view also supports inner join only. Inner join only. These two rules supports inner join only. And let's see how do we create a report definition. I'm just closing all the tabs. Yeah. Customer details. Just right click on it, new reports, report definition. Click on create. See here you have to provide the display fields here. See, just mention the display fields. You can add the columns like this, and the field which you are going to show here, that should be a exposed property. See, the first name, date of birth, and the policy end date only it is showing, because only those three properties are exposed properties in this class. That's why it is showing those properties only, and all those which it is showing are out of the box properties. P label, PX, INS name, and all these are out of the box properties. Policy end date. Okay, and the same like in list view and summary view, you can have the criteria here, criteria options. And as I discussed, like it is combination of both summary view and list view. Here, if you check this, you will be having the group by options, categorized by, and just go to the data access tab. Here, you can have it supports outer join as well. Report definition supports outer join as well, and you can generate pie chart reports, those types of reports also using a report definition rule, and paging options available, and you can generate pie chart, these types of reports also using a report definition. And as discussed, it supports outer join as well. And unlike list view, but in list view, to display it in the to display the properties or columns in the report, those need not to be exposed. It will let you to create the report, and it will get the data as well. But whereas in report definition, the property which you are going to show in the display fields, even the property which you are going to show even in the display fields must be a exposed property. Okay, just save it. Here include a chart. So when you go here, you can just click on it. You will be having options to add the chart and all those things. I'm just clicking on that, and I don't have any conditions actually. See, it is showing me the complete data, and filter options and all these are available in list view. See the caption and column name, and you want to provide here relationship and the value. These options are available in report definition. And even a report definition also, you can call it in the UI. You can refer it in the UI, and same like list view and summary view, and you can call it from a activity as well. And coming to the differences, so you can say it like a combination of list view and summary view. Even you can get the detailed and the summarized data. Whatever the report may be, you can develop summarized data. And you can outer join also, inner, and as well as outer join also possible using a report definition. But whereas outer join is not possible in list view and summary view rules. Okay, this is about reports. So everyone understood this reports and call and branch methods. So in most of the interviews, they will ask this: when we use call, when do you use branch? What is the difference between call and branch? So call would be, you will be having calling activity and called activity. Calling activity is the sense. See, suppose here, if A is calling B activity, from A activity you are calling B activity. Here A is the calling activity and B is the called activity. Okay, so if you are calling an activity using call method, Pega will execute the called activity and come back to the calling activity, and it will execute the proceed with the next step. But whereas if you are calling the activity using branch method, the control will be it will go to the called activity, it will execute the called activity, and it will not come back to the calling activity. and it will not execute the steps in the calling activity. That's how branch will work. That's how call will work. That's the basic difference. Okay.
Here,
Yeah.
if you call an activity using branch keyword inside a loop, what will happen? It will exit the loop or it will skip all the steps?
Uh, if it is inside a loop, it should come to the calling activity as well.
I mean, it will exit only the loop, you mean?
Yes. So generally, most probably will not be using branch actually. Most of the scenarios. So you will be using it if you have any requirement like that. Based on a condition, you want to go to the some called activity and activity, and you don't want to come back. Then you can use this branch method. You are just branching the activity. That's it. The name itself explains you. Okay. Okay, I will share you by an end of so like I think in by next 10 hours. Like it might be night for you. By end of tomorrow, by end of the day, a few like I will share you the Pega 7 software. Please try to install it. From next classes, we will be having the classes on 7. And we have some other topics like we have some other shapes in Pega which needs to be covered in the flow. So we have some other shapes like split join, spin off, and split for each. Let me cover those as well. So split for each, split join, and only these two shapes we didn't cover. Integrator we covered it. So this shape it can be called to call an can be used to call an integrate connector activity, integration activity. You can call this integrator shape. You can use it. Anyway, we have covered utility shape and sub process. We covered it. Most probably all the shapes we covered it. Streamline will not use it in real time mostly. So anyway, these two are common in 7 as well. We'll cover in 7. And one more thing, you can install both the softwares in single system itself. You can have two softwares. Try to install it in different drives, or if you are planning to install in the same drive where 6 exists, just create a new folder and install this 7 software in that new folder. Okay. Okay, then if you have any doubts, just ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to close the session for today. Okay, then bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.